Hello, this is Madmaxed again with another raid video. I did this back when I first started doing raid videos, and mostly I did it because my clan needed to have better clan boss teams, and I published it, and it's been a long time ago. It got a whole lot of views, and of course now it's so old it hardly ever comes up. But since that time, and this is on my alt because my main account doesn't have any keys left. I'm sorry about that. I would have run it on the hip. But anyway, my main account has got Bellinor. And I was really looking forward to getting Bellinor. He's void. You would think it would be fantastic. And he was going to replace Feyin for me in Clan Boss team. So the reason is because I have Warcaller there. He does the decrease attack, the decrease crit rate, and all that Feyin also does. So I didn't really need that. I didn't need that part of Feyin, but she has it, which is good. But he has a decreased defense and a weaken right off the bat. It is 2 turns on 3-turn cooldown, which is fine. You can get his speed up to where you can have that up all the time because you can just loop the boss. Around 242, 243, you're always going to have that up. And you just had to get your speed up really high, and I did that. There's no books for the cooldown for it, and books are a lot harder to find for this guy too because he is legendary instead of epic like Fayne is. Now, his increased 30% crit rate is nice for the A1, and he attacks one enemy. Will attack the enemy with the lowest hit point if he has anything else left. He's not going to have that in Clan Boss, of course. And it activates this Champion's Overkill skill. Also activates Zaya's Poison Rain if you have her on the same team. And he places a perfect veil with that A2. So, I was thinking, okay, that's 15% less damage he's going to take. He has more HP. He has more defense than Feyin does. And Feyin is a little bitty skinwalker, mouse. And I think people, when they pull her, if they've not seen this video, they underestimate her. By the way, guys, click that little subscribe button in the bottom of the corner. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Leave me some comments. I've got most of the epics, got a lot of the rares, not maybe 30% of the rares or so. 30% of the legendaries. And I'm happy to make a video about something you need to see. But anyway, Feyin is one of those champs, and even for a while they were giving her away for free with a promo code even. And a lot of people got her. Now, and I've got people that are in my clan that have Feyin, but they didn't develop her. And they were developing other things that were not going to help them nearly as much in Clan Boss. So let's go through. See, she's got 13,000 hit points. Boner had way more. He had 1,000 something defense. She's got 700. She is squishy. Her attack, though, is 1,600. And that's the base stats for her when you get her to level 60. Now, Bellinor, on the other hand, he is a high elf. And if you look at him, he's got a little bit less attack, but he's got more HP and he's got more defense by about 35% or so. So he's not nearly as squishy. And Feyin is squishy, but she hits like a truck. She hits really hard. If you gear her up for the attack and the crit rate and the crit damage, she can just about one-shot any one item, but she's a one-shot hitter. But in Clan Boss and Spider, this is what you need. Because you need that weaken and you need that drop defense. That doubles your damage in Spider and it doubles your damage on Clan Boss. Now, let's look at Feyin. And this is the one I've got built here. She's better on my main account. I just use this to score a lot of points for my clan versus clan, for my clan and stuff. But anyway, it's a lot better on my other one. It's a lot better of everything on the other one. But I do have a decent Fayne here. I mean, she's not quite as good as the other account, but she's still good. All right, so let's look at her skills and let me explain why she's so important in Spider. And she's so important, and she can be important in like Fire and and she can be important, and she's really important in Spider. She's really important in Clan Boss. And those three areas, she just really shines. Now, her A1, she attacks an enemy 2 times on her A1. It's not bad. It's not bad for the Fire Knight. It's a double hitter instead of a single hitter. Help break out the shield quicker. Each hit Ed has a 35% chance and 5% of the turn meter. It's a little bit, it's not much, okay? But every little bit for turn meter helps. Her second ability is the poison and the decrease attack. Now, this is where, when I started using Bellner, I started losing some damage because I wasn't using her on my main account. And I noticed that. I would go through, I could use Bellner, I could use her. They're both geared up pretty close to the same. They both, they both would sit down and they would hit. But I didn't get those 2 poisons that I always got. I mean, he doesn't have the decreased attack, but I got Warcaller, so I didn't have to worry about that because he has decreased attack. Now, she has the decreased defense and the weaken, which is 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. This is much easier to gear the speed up for Nightmare and for Ultra Nightmare because you don't have to be as fast because it's 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So you only got to be 25% faster instead of 33% faster than the Clan Boss to be able to keep this up all the time. Now, with Bellinor, I think his is 3-turn on a 2-turn. It is. To keep his up all the time, it's 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. So you're going to have him at around 242 speed, with nobody else manipulating the turn meter, adding speed boost, to be able to get him up where he can keep this up all the time. You always want to have the defense, the decreased defense and the weaken up. You always want to have that up because that is going to make you do almost double the damage. But you can still get a speed up to that, and I did, because that's what the speed I have for Feyin is. Because I also wanted Feyin to do that decrease attack before I started using Warcaller. So I got her speed up a long time ago. But now she is adds, right? But she can really hit hard, but you don't want to build her for that. I mean, you want her to have a lot of hit points. You want her to have a pretty good bit of defense. On my main team, she's got about 2,100 defense, and she's got maybe a little bit less HP, but anyway. So what I look for when I build her, this is stalwart gear, 30% reduction for the damage that she takes from those AoEs. The Clan Boss has 2 AoE attacks. So you're going to lose, so that's 30% damage, less damage each one. It keeps her alive longer. All right, so you look at, I put stalwart gear on the whole thing. I look for speed. Her speed is close. It's at 237. She needs about 5 more speed, really, to be able to keep everything up on Nightmare like it needs to be. But it's close, and I'll try to get it on up a little bit higher. But like I said, it's like you're just going to have to do it with enhancements. I mean, because it's right at it now. But to get all these enhancements to go fully is few and far between. So you just try to get it up as high as you can get it. So you're looking at, you have to farm and farm and farm the faction wars to get these enhancements. And then they fail most of the time. Or you'll get something less than what you already got. But then what I did was I put an HP, or you can put a defense on the chest piece. Yeah, she's not going to hit as hard, but you don't really care. You want her to survive. And the reason you want her to survive is because her damage is one thing, but everybody else, all 5 members, getting double damage because she's alive and she's keeping that uh, decreased defense and weaken up. Now, she also keeps that decreased attack up. And, so you're taking 50% less damage from everybody, from the clan boss all the time. Now, I should go over her mastery that I did for her. I mean, I went down and I did the normal support line with that for the increase. These both mainly increases your accuracy, which she needs. I like the 15% boost for all. This is one of the best ones in the support line. Increase your base stat by 15% on your items. Now, this one has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any debuff cast by this champion. She casts 4 debuffs. So, you want that. And then she's got the normal offensive support line. Offensive line. With War Caller, with War Master at the end. So, these are pretty basic ones for an attack champ. She is attack based. Now, when you go in and you look, and I'm going to run like Clan Boss with her, and then I'm going to do Spider with her. And I'm going to show you what happens with the two. And I'm only going to run Brutal. I've already got all the stuff for Nightmare for the day. And this isn't a great clan boss team. I've just never really pulled great champs on this thing. I don't have anybody that has, I don't even have a Taragi the Frog even. I don't have anybody that has a really good allied protect, like 2 turns on 3 turn cooldown even. I don't even have one of those. I've just not gotten lucky with the draws on this account. But as you'll notice up in the corner, now you look at the info, and you've got decreased defense and weaken both. And with both of those up, you almost double the damage from everybody else. The leech helps. It's like having lifesteal gear. I've got the poisons up, the burns are up, everything's up. Decreased attack, 50%. You want to watch now because, like, when you look down through here, I got 10 debuffs up. You don't want to get too many debuffs up because you don't want to be at where, Fayin's going to throw that decreased attack, but you're already at 10 and you lose that. But this team probably won't do that. The Venom Mage, he actually throws a pretty good bit. But this is like a 40, 50 million, probably, a brutal team. It's not a great team, but it's okay. And I'm going to break it here. I'll get it when we get back close to the end. And we're back, and we're at round 19, and we're already at about 24 million points worth of damage. We are at 24 mil. I've got Rector draft on this account, and Rector is a good healer. The Veil keep 15% of the damage off on your clan boss. The Venom Mage keep 15% down, so you're losing 30 from there. Your Stalwart gear gives you 30 off, from the damage from the AoEs. Rector will heal quite well. This isn't a great clan boss team, but it's pretty good. It gets me every night. This thing gets me with 2 keys. I easily can do the Nightmare. Usually I get really close to 1 key in it, and probably if I worked on the team a little bit, but it's not my priority right now. My priority is my main account and getting lighter. But anyway, this team does fairly well. And it's not like I said, it's not the best team in the world. My main has a much better team, but I have much better, I got lucky and got much better champs there. I've just had a hard time getting the champs that I really want on this one to build a really phenomenal clan boss team, but you have to do with what you have. And as long as you're killing Nightmare clan boss, and we kill Nightmare clan boss every night in our clan. So when you're doing that, you're getting 2 chances to get a Sacred Shard and a Legendary Book. And legendary books are incredibly hard to come by, as I always say. So, and this will probably go 35. I would imagine go 35 rounds, pretty close. It might not, it might, but it probably will. And it'll at least get 40 million points worth of damage. And you know, at least that on brutal. So as you notice, we've got all the nice debuffs up. We've got all the poisons. We've got the burns. We've got everything to keep him getting damaged. And of course, you know, it just knocked down Mashald. But Mashald is the lead, so he's the one going to get targeted a lot. So we're already at 32 mil or better. This would obviously get you everything on brutal with one key that you're going to get. He's really bad about with that stun hit. He does a lot of damage, especially for Mashald. Mashald is an attack base, and you know he doesn't have a lot of defense. He doesn't have a lot. He's actually got a lot of speed. His speed is made for. I use him in my arena team. He's got a whole lot of speed on him. He throws that fear, and that's what I mainly use him for. I'm not concerned with him as much on this, but he does do a lot of damage, as you'll see. He's one of the big damage dealers in this thing. He also, when you get into the colors, he removes the attack all the time because he has that he pulls off. But yeah, he just did 240k worth of damage there. And I wish I had a better reviver healer than what I've got. You know, Rector is she's a great healer. She's one of the best healers in the game. But she only revives once, and she doesn't revive very often. You know, there are much better revivers in the game than she is. But it looks like we're going to finish up with about 37 mil, close, 36.7. So that with one key, you're brutal. And at two keys, nightmare. But the reason it does that is you would get a lot less damage without Feyin there. And you know, and you look, this guy took two keys. He's got really good champs here. You know, pretty much. He didn't have Feyin in the mix. And this one did 26 mil with one key, but got Feyin. And of course, you know, it probably needs to work on the speed more than anything. But you look down here, took 3 turns, got decent champs, because he got Taragi. Taragi's really good. This one's only 50. He doesn't have Feyin. If he'd have put Feyin in the mix, he would have doubled his damage easily. You know, he should have took out this character, and if he had Feyin in here, you know, the 3 keys wouldn't have been 13 mil. It would have been 25 mil at least, because that weaken and that defense drop doubles your damage. See, you only need 21 mil to get the very last chest out of brutal. Now I'm going to go to Spider, and I'm going to show you why she shines in Spider. And I'm going to run it without her one time to show you what it happens, and I'm going to show you what it is when she's in there. Let me run it with her to start out with, because that way I don't have to do anything. I'm lazy today, so I'm just going to do it right off the bat without having to change the lineup. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. The first thing she's going to do is she's going to throw that A3. She decreased the defense, and if you look, she decreased defense and she weakened. All right, so now the next thing, he's going to burn everybody. And he's going to freeze everybody. Now, if you look, and you see how much damage the Coldheart just did. Coldheart took out about 1/3 of the spider's HP. Now I got Royal Guard, and Royal Guard is going to take out about another. Is going to take out more. Well, his crit. That's what happened. I don't have a 100% crit rate up on Royal Guard. I need to change that because that attack he got works really great once he does that. A lot of time, there's only 25% of the health left. And these burns do 3% each time. And you look, you know, he steals the turn meter. The poisons aren't going to do anything. It's only the burns that work well against Spider. But I got a bad hit off of Royal Guard because he didn't crit, and all of his damage is based on based on the crit damage. But as you go through, let's speed it back up. I had to slow it down and showing you what it does. This is about a 40. It's about a 40-second run, so to kill Spider, that's not bad. And these champs are all free, just about, except for, you know, I mean, a lot of these champs you can get for free. Let me just replay it, show you again. The first thing she does is weaken and drops defense. Now, sometimes, you know, there's a 3% chance that these things don't hit. And it makes it harder when she doesn't do that. It's going to take a lot longer. But this is how fast it is. You see what she did and he did? There was what it was. About 30% of the health was all left after those 2 hits. And that's because Feyin hit with a weakening to drop defense. So now you only have to have a few burns to go in and finish this up with. Sometimes I actually screw up because it just killed one of the burners. And you don't really want the burners to die. You actually want them to burn and to burn the boss. It's dead. 54 seconds. And that's not a real fast run for it, but because some of the burners died. But anyway, so that's level 20. It's an easy walkthrough. I don't need that. So 100,000 silver. And that's how easy it is with her. You want her to be the fastest. You want her to hit the drop defense. And you want her to hit that weaken at an A3. And when you set her up in here and you do the team setup, if you look, that's how I've got her. I've got her set to do the number 1. Now, if I go in and I take her out of the mix, okay? Let's see, who do I put in? I can put in, like, him. He's going to give a big shield. And you would probably want him to be that's the number 1 choice because you want the lightning storm so you get the big shield on everybody. But now we're going to show you the difference between the two, with Feyin in Spider or Feyin not in Spider. And I think a lot of people mess up because they think, well, she's not really good in Spider, but she's excellent in Spider. Okay, he does a few stuns, places a big shield up on everybody. He burns everybody. He freezes all the little spiders. You see, after they got through, you see how little damage those 2 big hitters just did? That's because there's no weaken, there's no drop defense up there. So now you're going to have to sit down and fight this thing a whole lot longer. And you know, a lot of this, a lot of times is like to get these, all your goodies and stuff is get these things to go. I mean, if you're taking 3 minutes a turn to kill the spider at 20, and even if it kills it every time, but you know, you've got a team that does it in about 40 seconds on average, you know, you can get in a lot more of these in a length of time and get, like, the tournaments can be won quicker. It's just a matter of time, and you know, and it's just so slow not having Feyin in here. And I mean, these are big hitters. I mean, this is Royal Guard, this is Cold Heart. They both have really good gear on. They both have a whole lot of crit damage. Royal Guard's crit rate is a little bit too low, and it needs to be upped a little bit because every once in a while he does miss with that big hit because he doesn't have a 100% crit rate. But he's still got a lot of crit damage, and it hits most of the time. And when it does, it's just phenomenally fast. See? So we did it in 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that's because of Cold Heart, and she got her ability back up quicker. But it might have went over 2 minutes if it hadn't been for that. So Feyin shines in both of those places. And so you want to go in, and if you get lucky enough that you pull Feyin, you want to get her up to 60. You want to throw her in your spider team like that. You want to throw her into your clan boss team. And you want to get her up, you want to get her speed up really high. Make her tanky. It doesn't matter about the spider because she's going to be able to hit both of those 2 hits, and it's never going to go past the second round, usually with a Cold Heart and a Royal Guard and a burner. And it doesn't have to be ACOP, be Mordecai. Any good burner that can burn all those things will sit down and kill that really quick, really easy. And 2 Cold Hearts are going to do the same thing as like that Cold Heart and that Royal Guard. And I've got plenty of Cold Hearts over the last couple of years. I mean, I've got more Cold Hearts than what I can level and need even. There's a bunch of these things in here. And I just don't use them. I just throw them into the vault even. Because I can't look at all the... You're going to find up getting so many of these things is unreal. And you just don't have the... You don't have the energy, the time, or whatever to level all this stuff up. I mean, it takes a long time to level, as you know, a level 60 up. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a whole lot of stuff. So, a lot of this stuff, if you look, I mean, I've got decent stuff. It's just all thrown into here. And I think it's on my main maybe, but I've got, I think 4, there's another Cold Heart. I think I've got 4 or 5 on my main, even Cold Heart. And as you play, you're going to get plenty of these. And they do really well on Spider. You take 2 of those with a Feyin, they're going to drop it down. If you can get the really good gear, you can drop it down to about 25%. You throw a burn on there, it only takes a few little burns and it's all over with. You can do it in 30 or 40 seconds. If you have 3 Cold Hearts, Feyin, and 1 burner, you can almost knock it all the way completely out when the Fayins get done. I mean, the Cold Hearts get done. The Cold Hearts, after they shoot there 3 times, you're going to take out probably 90–95% of the spider's health. So it's only got to burn 3 times, and that's nothing. And and then it's all dead. But guys, that's how good Feyin is. That's what you need to use her for. And like I said, I was sadly disappointed in Bellinor, but when you look at the difference between the 2, you understand that he can't possibly do as much damage, even though he's a legendary. He doesn't have the attack to start with, his hits, and he doesn't have that 2 poisons. Well, when you get 2 poisons up there, and they're always up, if you speed Feyin up really good, so they're, as you saw when we were doing Clan Boss, they're always on. So every round, you're getting 80,000 points worth of damage from Feyin from those 2 poisons. And you're going 30 rounds, and you're getting 80,000 points. So you're getting 2.5 million points worth of damage extra from Feyin. You're not going to get from him from the poisons alone. And they're pretty comparable as far as like the weaken and the attacks and stuff. I mean, there's no big attacks that the other one has either. So she is one of my favorite Clan Boss Spider champs. I mean, so. And I would never take her out of Spider ever because just that weaken and that drop defense is just going to make your Spider team go that much easier and that much faster. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like it.